Good evening, brothers and sisters. Well, I want to release a video that you've probably seen, but I just want you to have a look at it. It's Paul Harvey. We broadcast in 1965. Now, I was around in 1965. I was 10. Okay, and it was according to, well, looking at today, it was far different place to live in. There wasn't social media, mobile phones. There was one phone in the house, usually under the stairs. People were respective, marriage lasted, and I never knew at that time, because I wasn't saved when I was 10, 16 and a half before I accepted the Lord, but I never knew that Paul Harvey existed. But I watched this video and then I thought, wow, how did he know? I mean, wow, how did he know? So let's dive down and have a look.
If I were the devil, if I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Wow. Absolutely wow. 1965. Now, a prophecy fulfilled. Tell me we're not in the end times. Tell me that God is going to let this go on much longer. The enemy has been winning all the way so far, barring those that have confessed that Jesus is Lord and believe in their heart that God raised him from the dead. They're saved. Wow. I am gobsmacked, family. I am gobsmacked. There's nothing to say to that. That has all happened. But you know, it didn't just happen to America. It happened to the world. The whole world. I will leave you with, may God bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you, guys. In Jesus' name. Confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. Believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, and you will be saved. For those who follow that path will be in hell. God bless.